much for stopping by. My name is Hollabec. So this video is actually the first video that I am filming in the new apartment. And I will start right off by saying that I do intend on doing an apartment tour, even though there's really not much to show. This is such a tiny apartment. I hate it so much. But as of right now, it'll probably be a month or two before I feel comfortable enough with where we're at to actually show you the new place. But the point of this video was just to give you one final update, and then I'm hoping next week I should be back to a normal schedule. I'm hoping to get back into randomness and awesomeness and all that good stuff. But for now, I figure one last chatty video, and then you know you won't have to worry about hearing me talk much anymore ever again. That sounds so terrible. If that's the case, why are you even here? So for starters, I thought I would talk a little bit about the actual move itself. I would talk a little bit about the new place, what I like about it, what I don't like about it, talk a little bit about Jordan's new job, and then, of course, my plans now that we are finally here. So since we no longer live there, I feel comfortable saying that Jordan and I actually moved from Owasso, Michigan. That's where he attended the ADI program through Baker College, which is the Auto Diesel Institute, which is where he got his degree. While we were living there, we knew absolutely nobody, so when it actually finally came time to move, it was just Jordan and I. That's it. We ended up getting the truck Thursday, so it was the night before we actually moved, and we just blew right through it, just hauling things to the truck, just the two of us. So I will say that I am thankful that we got rid of that couch, because I don't think there's any way Jordan and I would have been able to get that by ourselves. Fortunately, once we actually got to the new place, we were a little bit closer to people that we know, family and friends, and we got a ton of help, and what took Jordan and I like a day and a half took like an hour once we got to the new place. So I was very, very happy about that. Now, as I had mentioned before, the new place is so much smaller than the old place. I'm actually a little concerned. We haven't gotten a couch yet, and I'm honestly a little concerned that we're not going to be able to fit a couch in here. Like, even like a little 3-seater, it is so tiny. So we're going to have to do a lot of measuring. Past that, the kitchen is actually larger than our old one, which I think is completely unnecessary. I personally would have liked to have had more living room space than kitchen space, but I guess it is what it is. It's at least open between the two, so it kind of helps, but not really. The bathroom is also very teeny tiny, and just the way it's angled, once you guys actually see it for yourselves, you'll know what I'm talking about, but the way everything is angled is it's especially inconvenient for the bathroom, because the way it's angled in, like, you have to like turn into it, and it's very annoying, especially when you're trying to close the door, because then you get kind of like squished between the sink and the door, and very frustrating. The bedroom, which is where I am right now, and like the only place where I'm comfortable filming, because I feel like every other place is a disaster because we just have so much more work to do. Like, we're completely unpacked, but because it's so small and we don't have a lot of like storage furniture, because in this apartment we have the pantry and 2 like tiny closets out in the hallway, and then like the closets we have in either bedroom are smaller than the closet we had in my office in the old place. Both of them are. So we have very little storage. So right now I'm waiting. I want to get a wardrobe for my clothing, because I have so many art supplies and also so many clothes. Right now the closet is filled with my clothes, and I have no good spot for all of my art supplies. So I'm wanting to get a wardrobe for all my clothing, and that'll free out the closet then in my office to put all of my art supplies. And then my other hope is to then get a vanity, so I have a place for all of my hair stuff and my makeup, and that way the bathroom is free, because the only storage we have right now in the bathroom is whatever is under the sink. So there's not a lot of room there. So we don't have like a medicine cabinet or anything else. So my other hope for the bathroom is to get one of those over the toilet storage, like not one of those cheap wire ones, but you can get some fairly nice like actual cabinets. So I would like to get something like that, just so we have a little bit more room, since we are so limited on storage space. So until we actually get things in here organized to a point where I'm comfortable, I just want to hold off before, you know, showing you guys around. Okay, but you guys are watching this Friday, so Jordan actually started work on Monday, and that has been quite a transition for both of us because since we've been together, like early in our relationship, he's always worked first shift, and now he's working second shift, so he's working from 5 in the evening until 2 o'clock in the morning, and I go to bed at like 10 o'clock, so it's been very hard for both of us really, because he's having to get into the new schedule, being able to stay up later, well, actually putting forth like effort and trying to do a good job at work. And then I'm trying to transition into basically going to bed alone, which is something I haven't had to do in a very, very long time. And it is a lot harder than you would think it would be. So that has been pretty hard on both of us. Fortunately, it is working a little bit better for us in that they are training him and working with him, and of course he's had to do a lot of paperwork through HR, so instead of going in at 5, he's been going in at like 3, so instead of getting out at 2, he would be getting out at midnight, or he has been getting out at midnight, and so that's helped, because I have been a couple nights been able to stay up later so I can actually see him when he gets home. But I know it's going to get much worse, which brings me to the next thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Obviously we moved for Jordan's work, and I didn't really have anything set in place, so now I'm going to have to start doing some serious job searching, trying to find something for myself. And so I have been looking around. Even before we moved, I started looking around a little bit because I'm wanting to find something more artistic. I'm looking for something part-time preferably, and the really, really nice part is that a majority of what I'm going to make will be going towards my hobbies and my passions and furthering, I hesitate to say career because I'm not really working towards one of those right now. I mean, kind of, but not really. I have lots of hopes and dreams and passions, and that's about all I got right now. All in all, we're working towards getting more comfortable with the new place and the new town, and fortunately it's helping because we are a lot closer to family, and even this weekend we're going to be hanging out with them, so I think that's going to help a lot in the transition. The little kitties, Bella and Alessa, are doing very well. The first day when we first moved, they were very, very scared. Of course, everything was very new to them, and they spent most of the time in their little box tower, which we brought over from the old place, just so they did have something familiar. So they spent like the first night clinging to that mostly, but I would say by the next morning they were already very comfortable with the new place, walking around and exploring, so fortunately we didn't have too many issues with them getting used to the new place. So in fact, I think Jordan and I are having a harder time getting adjusted than they did. But I think that was about all I was going to tell you guys. I can't think of anything else. Of course, if you guys did have any further questions for me, or concerns or suggestions, if any of you are used to having smaller places and you have any advice whatsoever on how I can utilize this tiny space, please let me know. And I would say within a month or so, look for my apartment tour. Otherwise, guys, I will see you next week, hopefully back to a normal schedule again and regular videos and less talking. That being said, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you the next time around.